I am joined now by Kiafu, Bian, and Nick Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on being named MRS Postdoctoral Award winners. That is a big honor. So I want to start with you, Kiafu, first. Your research, it focuses on the exploration of the relationships between processing structure and properties of self-assembled nanoparticles, especially under stress. So tell us more about your work and how you came to be interested in this particular aspect of materials science.
Well, so at the beginning of the story, I knew nothing about this. I was majored in chemical engineering. And I started a grad school at Cornell University, and then, hey, I saw this thing. It looks pretty interesting. It's very small stuff, and then you can put them together in a way that either you can decide, or the particle themselves, they can decide how they want to assemble. So, hey, this is pretty interesting. And that's how I kind of started working with Professor Henris, and then later with Professor Hongyu Fan at Sandia on this topic.
And here you are. It's very impressive. Nick, tell me a little bit more about your research, because it concerns the development and application of hybrid machine learning and statistical mechanical methodologies to describe structural and conductivity phenomena in charged and semiconducting polymers. Did I say that right?
Close, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to work on shortening that.
Yes. So we see more and more machine learning related symposia and events at these MRS meetings. Tell us more about your work and how you came to be interested in this particular field.
Yeah, so my work is primarily concerned with designing materials computationally that you can use in flexible electronic types of applications. And so I became interested in this because it's a very multi-scale problem. So it's not just you have to understand what the electrons are doing, you have to understand what the nuclei are doing and what the clumps of nuclei are doing. And this is a pretty complicated problem to solve, on a piece of paper analytically. And so this is actually how I got involved in machine learning. Is machine learning kind of provides this whole tool set for solving these problems that aren't amenable to traditional theoretical approaches. And I was lucky enough to be associated with Argonne National Lab, which has a very strong machine learning program there. And so I just kind of got going with those guys, and we had a very nice collaboration in this regard. So.
It's very remarkable. Congratulations again. So the MRS Postdoctoral Award, it's still a relatively new award. So talk about the role, if you will, both of you, of the postdoctoral phase of your careers and the importance of being recognized at this stage in your career path. I'll start with you.
Okay, so it's definitely a huge honor to get this award. And you must know there are just maybe not millions, but definitely thousands of postdocs in this related fields. And then we have maybe like 4 postdoc awards a year. So I'm really honored. So, and that's a huge recognition of my work. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It really is, isn't it? I think that's an appropriate word. What about you, Nick? How does this affect your career path?
Yeah, so as Kiafu said, it's very humbling to receive this, and obviously when you get awards like these, you have to remember that all the people who helped you get here are critical to that. So my current advisor, Juan DePablo, has been outstanding, and I don't think academics are really in excess of self-esteem often. So when you have things like this come along, it feels pretty good to, reinforce your kind of career ambitions. So very
Will
honored.
this recognition change anything for either one of you moving forward?
Well, unfortunately, I'm currently working in industry, and I work for Intel now, and then probably it won't really change my career course directly. But it's definitely something that keep me going, and then
it's motivating.
Yeah, it's motivating. Yeah, like what you said. And then now I'm basically working on providing the most advanced and the fastest computational power for people like this gentleman. So I'm also pretty proud of that too.
Yes, as you should be. What about you, Nick? Will this change anything for you?
I mean, it definitely feels good to go through an application process and not be flat out rejected from it. So that's very encouraging going forward for applying for future jobs. So like I said, self-esteem, nice thing to have.
Well, congratulations again, gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you
We
very
appreciate
much.
it. MRS TV has all the coverage you want with the big newsmakers. Be sure to check out our content, which is updated each day here on YouTube from the 2019 MRS Spring Meeting here in Phoenix.